Hi, James. I'm Adria. I'm a recreation therapist at the Northwest Wellness Day Program. It is so nice to meet you. Today we are meeting to complete an initial assessment to determine what your leisure needs are. This will assist with the planning of TR programming and interventions to meet your needs in regards to leisure and recreation. The assessment takes approximately 30 minutes to complete and is a series of questions designed to gather information to set your care goals here at the day program. Before we begin the assessment, I want to reassure you that any information shared today remains confidential among the healthcare team. Do I have your consent to participate in the therapeutic recreation assessment today?
Yep.
If at any time you have any questions, please just stop and ask them as we go. To start off, I'm just going to go through some background information. Are you familiar with recreation therapy?
No.
That's okay, lots of people aren't. Recreation therapy helps individuals with physical, mental, emotional, cognitive, or social concerns that can affect their ability to participate in leisure activities. Recreation therapy helps remove barriers and uses leisure to improve function and promote optimal health and well-being. Can you tell me 3 activities you like to do?
I like the outdoors. I like watching sports and the news. I used to paint, but I haven't been.
Okay. What was your occupation prior to retiring?
I used to sell my paintings and do odd jobs.
Nice. Can you tell me about your family?
I have a 21-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter. They live with their mother, and we're in the process of a divorce.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I have divorced parents and I know it is very difficult on everyone involved. Our next section is leisure awareness and interest. Would you be able to define leisure in your own word?
Just like hanging out.
That's a good start. Leisure is your free time spent away from work, chores, and necessary activities like eating and sleeping. Can you tell me how you spend a typical day?
I like sitting on the porch and catching the daily news and the sports that I like.
Okay. Typically, how frequently do you engage in leisure activities?
I'd say 3 times a week.
Okay. Are there any leisure activities that you wish you could pursue more often?
Probably outdoor activities like fishing and hiking and camping. I've kind of thought about starting with my art again.
Okay, nice. I really love camping and hiking too. Would you be able to check off any activity areas that may be an interest to you? So the options are creative arts, emotional expression, physical activity, social activity, community involvement, reading, writing, outdoor activities, music, cooking, and baking.
Um, Definitely creative arts, maybe physical activity and outdoor activities, and then probably music.
Okay, awesome. Are you currently aware of leisure resources in your community?
No,
Okay. Do you know how to access community resources in your community?
no.
Would you be interested in exploring options to access the community resources?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, awesome. On average, how many people would you say you interact with during the typical day?
Um, I see my kids throughout the week a few times.
Okay, that's nice. It's nice that you can still visit them. How many of these people are a valued part of your life?
Is this gonna take much longer?
We're about halfway through. Are you okay to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, when you participate in leisure activities, is it with others or alone?
I'm usually by myself, except for when my kids come to visit.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, how important are social activities to you?
Maybe a 2.
The next section is physical domain. Would you be able to check off any physical skills you want to improve in? So the options are coordination, endurance, mobility, flexibility, strength, balance, and other.
Definitely strength, maybe mobility.
Okay, awesome. We do have a gym on site, so that hopefully you can attend it and it'll help you improve on those skills. Can you finish this sentence for me? I experience obstacles that prevent or hinder my physical participation daily, weekly, or monthly.
Maybe weekly.
Okay, would you be able to explain these obstacles?
Well, sometimes I get this persistent tremor in my right hand, and then some days it's all I can focus on.
Okay, yeah, that would be hard. Do you have emotional supports available to you if you need them?
I have my kids, but I try not to disclose too much to them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think we could wrap this up soon?
I just have a few questions left. Are you okay to finish up?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me any reason that stops you from participating in leisure activities?
Maybe my finances, and having bipolar disorder can sometimes be a barrier. Sometimes I have extreme lows.
Yeah, that does make it difficult sometimes. Are you agreeable to exploring ways to address these barriers in order to increase leisure participation?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's all the questions I have for now. I want to thank you for your participation in this assessment today. The information you provided will be used to set goals for recreation therapy services. So on that note, would you be willing to list some goals that you have for yourself?
I'd like to have more social outings with people. I also think maybe having some more activities to do at home and the community would be good.
For sure, those are great goals. At our agency, we like to use SMART goals. So this acronym stands for specific, measurable, achievable, results focused, and time bound goals. I would like to use what you said and add them to write them in a SMART format. Would you be all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to add before we conclude this assessment?
No, I really gotta go.
Okay, it was great to talk with you, James. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
3.
Hi, Shelby. I just wanted to inform you about our new client, James. He has bipolar disorder and a history of alcohol dependence. He is currently sober and attends weekly AA meetings. He has a slight tremor in his right hand, and he's in the process of getting a divorce, and he's not doing too well with it. He will be with us for 12 weeks, and his goals are to identify 3 leisure resources in his community by week 12, independently organize to attend a leisure activity with another client by week 12, and pursue 3 different activities in his own environment by week 12. I will be recommending and encouraging him to attend the day program 3 times a week, and specifically attending education and prevention/health promotion programs. On top of these programs, he will have the opportunity to attend other programs of interest. I will be putting his assessment in his file. If you get a chance to look over it, that would be great.
That sounds great. I'll introduce myself to him. I look forward to working with other members of the team to improve his overall health.
Okay, great. Thanks for popping in.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, James. How are you today?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So we're meeting today to complete your discharge assessment to confirm if you have met your needs in regards to leisure and recreation. This assessment will be very similar to your initial assessment. Before we start, do I have your consent to participate in the therapeutic recreation assessment?
Yes, you do.
Awesome. If at any time you have any questions, please just stop and ask them as we go. Could you please define leisure in your own words?
So, activities for my enjoyment that I choose to do to fulfill my time.
Okay. Can you tell me how you spend a typical day?
So I still enjoy my cups of coffee in the morning while watching the news and sports highlights. I continued with my AA meetings, and if I'm not there, then I'm at the day program or the gym. I recently purchased a bike and intend to do some trail riding.
Nice. Sounds like you've got a lot of exciting things happening. Typically, how frequently do you engage in leisure activities?
Probably 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay. Are there any leisure activities that you wanted to pursue that you are pursuing now? And would you be able to describe these activities?
Yeah, I went on a fishing day trip with the outdoors group that I found from the community. I participated in a few art activities at the day program, which inspired me to attend a paint night in the community. I also participated in a cooking class that the dietitian held at the day program.
Wonderful. Are you currently aware of leisure resources in your community?
Yeah.
And what are they?
So this day program, after some research, finding the outdoor group, they go fishing and hiking once a week. There's a group that I meet with my AA meetings for we have coffee every week, and I discovered the community paint nights, and then also the social worker at the agency helped me find a bipolar support group.
Okay, awesome. Do you know how to access community resources in your community, and how are you accessing these resources?
Yeah, just through socializing. I found the outdoor group online, and then the day program's really been helping me access community resources.
Okay, nice. On average, how many people would you say you interact with during the typical day?
Probably 4, maybe sometimes more.
Okay. How many of these people are a valued part of your life?
My children for sure, and Jack and I have become very close.
Awesome. When you participate in leisure activities, is it with others or alone? And if with others, can you tell me who?
Yeah, so Jack and I sit together at the art programs. I invited him to the community paint night, and we started going to the agency's gym together. I go for coffee with my friends from AA, and I've attended a fishing trip and a hiking trip with the outdoor group. And then my kids still come and visit about twice a week.
Okay, nice. Do you have emotional supports available to you if you need them?
Yeah, Jack has become someone I can really depend upon.
Nice. I'm really glad to hear that. Can you tell me any reason that stops you from participating in leisure activities? So, in your initial assessment, you expressed that your finances and having bipolar disorder can sometimes be a barrier.
Yeah, so I think I've found a good balance lately, and I've learned how to pick activities that I enjoy and that are also in my financial means.
Okay, good. Is there anything you want to add before we go over your goals?
No.
Okay, so your first goal was to identify 3 leisure resources in your community by week 12.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
So I attend the weekly coffee group. I've gone to a few paint nights, and then I joined the outdoor group, and I hope to attend the bipolar support group.
Okay, awesome. Your second goal was to independently organize to attend a leisure activity with another client by week 12.
Yeah, Jack and I went to a paint night together.
Okay, great. And your last goal was to identify and pursue 3 different activities in your environment by week 12.
I bought a bike and I discovered some new trails. The cooking class at the agency inspired me to cook at home. I also plan to set up my art space in my house. The OT provided me with some adaptive equipment that I'm looking forward to try.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Again, I want to thank you for your participation in the assessment. I will have to go over your progress with the rest of the team, but based on my assessment, it looks like you're right on track for discharge. And one of us will be with you in contact with you in the next 48 hours to discuss your discharge plan.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.